Good Wednesday morning, and welcome to Ice Age TV, the internal combustion engine age YouTube channel that talks about all my cars and trucks and motorcycles, the SUVs, the Hummers, the electric vehicles, the camper, the addictions. Wow. Hey, I'm using a different phone this morning because my other phone has way too much storage taken up. Just doesn't end on the Ice Age TV adventures. So it gets more complicated doing this phone. This phone won't reverse the camera without me taking my phone and reversing it myself. It's so stupid. I don't understand why Apple can't have a phone like my Droid phone and the Samsung phone, and I can't just have a button to reverse the camera. It just doesn't make any sense. But anyways, hey, good Wednesday morning there. Wow, Jesus Christ. It just doesn't end, man. I mean, why, right? Why? Here we are, walking over the barn. It's a beautiful Wednesday morning. It's definitely cooler up here, but nothing radical. But it's definitely chillier up here, which is kind of nice to have the change of season here and have the different temperatures, so we feel like we're actually in a different time of year instead of it just looking different. It feels different. And as you know, if you're watching my channel, you know, here we go, yet another car purchase. Beyond believable. And that's what I'm saying this morning. I think that the word of the day today is why. I would have to honestly say, I'd like to know other people's opinions. Do you know any other YouTuber out there that you scratch your head and say why? I can only imagine so many people watch my channel would say, but why? Why? Why do you do this? Why do you do that? And once again, I'd love to hear other people's comments to say you've watched other YouTube creators, and do you use the word why a lot when you watch your channel of just like beyond believable of this guy that you have subscribed to, and yet he goes out and buys another freaking vehicle. He loses a dog and goes out and instantly buys more dogs. I mean, the list goes on and on and on in my life. But why? And that's so, I think that's the appropriate word today that so many of us, where's the other girl? Hey, Ginger baby, come on, baby. Such a different world here without Kiefer, without all the harassment and all the growling and barking. And it is a more calm life for sure. I mean, even for me, not wanting to lose Kiefer by any means in my life, but I will say this much, that the calmness and the quietness and the craziness is definitely gone with Kiefer being gone. I mean, it's just kind of so much more quiet. And those little German Shepherd puppies, they're not even close. Not even close to being what Kiefer was. And I don't think they ever will be. So I think those dogs there will just be really domesticated and just your good old friend dog. But as far as them doing crazy stuff like Kiefer did, I just can't see it. So here we are. The Chevy Blazer EV. Even for me, 2 days ago, did I have a vision this would be sitting in my driveway? No. Why the hell did I do this? Yeah, I hear you. Why the hell did I just buy a Chevy Blazer? And if you're really following my channel, there's so many people out there that already scratch their heads because they're like, yeah, but you've had vehicles disappear on you, man. You've let vehicles go. Right. I know. And I know some people are like, how the hell do you do that? How the hell do you get yourself in that situation, but yet then you qualify to go buy yet another car? Yeah, I know. Why, right? Oh my gosh. What a long drive home. This traffic up in this area, it is so bad. It sucks. I mean, it's just dreadful. This area now, for the most part, you just dread driving around this area at any time of the day when you have to get up around the beltways. And that Baltimore beltway, it is the worst. And it's been like that forever, but it is just the worst. And it's just the amount of people on the roads these days. You know, we're back to the pandemic crap is gone. Everybody gets to sit home all day long is kind of phasing itself away. So the reality of everybody being on the road is real. And since we live on the road in our vehicles every day of our life, it's an incredible challenge to get around. Even if I drove to Baltimore right this morning, I'm going to get on that 695 Beltway, and it's going to be a joke. And so last night turned into a long day getting this vehicle and getting everything finalized. And my intuition was so right because on Monday evening, the sales guy Eric, very nice gentleman. Julia said that's one of my favorite salespeople. He's just such a nice, kind guy, he really is. And I was Julia last night. She just really did enjoy his presence and company. And she said, he kind of just let me do what I wanted to do and didn't tell me what to do. Oh, wow. Isn't that interesting? How we relate with others. So the day turned a long day, but Monday evening, the salesperson was told by the finance person that the deal is all wrapped up and it's good to go. But I was like, okay, but what are the numbers? And he didn't know. He said, well, they'll know in the morning. I said, okay, that's fine. So yesterday morning, it's 9 o'clock, and I text him, and the key finance people aren't in until 10 or 11. I said, okay, but can't you just tell me the numbers? And he's like, we don't have that authority. So the thing about this, the Asbury Automotive Group, who bought out Kuhn's organization, they're a whole different organization. They've changed things. Very interesting what they're doing. They're doing a lot of things that really, it's a whole different ball game. So for anybody there is a Kuhn's organization, they know everything has changed. I mean, it really has. And what I mean by that is Eric, the salesperson, he has no authority to discuss the financing. He cannot do that. Isn't that something? I said, I'm just wanting to find out the rate. Because for me, I truly felt like it's going to be so lucky to get this car, pay 20% interest. Yeah, I'm just sincere because of what's going on in my life of getting dings on my credit report. But actually, my credit report is actually really clean. I was surprised because I really have kind of put things back in order on my personal side. And actually, my credit score has been going up. So believe it or not, actually, things are good on that side. I was even surprised because I had my whole credit report locked down. And I had to open it back up. Before I submitted my application, I really said I better look at things and see what's going on. And actually, it's really clean. Thank God. So I'm in good standings on my personal side. Business is a whole different story. That's a whole different conversation, so I'm not going to get all of that today. So here's the thing. So I'm like, okay, well, you can't tell me the numbers. So I'm not driving. And so I know the numbers. Well, then by 11 o'clock in the morning, the person that got the deal approved, she's not in today. But to my advantage, Scott, a really cool guy, that's been in the finance and in the automotive industry his whole life. And he's younger than me, but he's been around so long doing this. And he knows how to get deals done. And he's dangerous because of how things work. Because the finance lady, Kelly, who got me approved, she misrepresented what had happened. So I sold my Corvette last week. And that was carried through Bridgecrest Loans. That was carried through the Carvana finance side at a very high interest rate, which I always knew that car would be a short-term car unless I could refinance it for long-term because the interest rates are too high through Carvana. That's ridiculous, but I got my fun out of it, and I had my day, and there you go. But here's the problem. Kelly sold General Motors or GM Finance on the thought that I was giving up a GM account to get a GM account replacement. It's just a swap. And that was incorrect. So when Scott got in yesterday, he's like, hey, whoa, this deal isn't approved because Kelly represented that you were giving up a GM financial account. And basically, that'd be like me giving up the Colorado for for that car there, which I wouldn't do that because it'd be all negative numbers in that car. So to make a long story short, it wasn't until like basically 12:30 yesterday, and I tried to already know the traffic flow, how long it takes to get there. It's an hour and a half ride one way, and then the day goes into a long day because we're not going to even get there till 2 o'clock. And then by the time we get all the paperwork done, it's be 4 o'clock, and then driving home, you're not getting home 6, 7 o'clock at night. Here comes a freaking helicopter. What's that guy doing? Why is he flying above me, right? Are they coming to see me? Probably. And that thing is noisy as hell. It's just incredible how noisy those helicopters are. You can imagine a pack of those when you're in the military. You can only imagine. The earth must rumble around you if you're around those helicopters on the ground. You got 10 of them sitting there on the ground, all getting ready to go to war. So here's the thing. So he called. So the bottom line is, I finally got an idea of what's going on. Scott gave me. He's like, just come on down, dude. I'm gonna take good care of you and blah blah blah. So now, once again, why did I go to the Blazer when I have other people's like Brent that wanted me to look at the Kia? The high-end Ioniq 5 is pretty cool, but the daughter doesn't actually look like the look. She wasn't excited about that, but I couldn't get financed. I did try to maybe weigh my options with like Hyundai, Kia. Nah, the deals, it's just, it's too much debt. The bottom line is the finance person's like, you just have way too many things, and the finance companies just aren't comfortable with that, and we're not going to do it. General Motors, I've got a relationship now of making payments on cars from the Camaro to the Colorado, and they're more comfortable because they've had me, and I've been doing well taking care of them. So GM is my, back pocket deal to get a car done. So, but I really like the Chevy Blazer. I think it's a great vehicle. But the biggest thing that drove me to buy this car was a huge discount. So if this vehicle wasn't discounted, I wouldn't have jumped into this. And basically, this is like a $57,000 vehicle, and it was like $57,500, and they had $12,500 off, which I was like, okay, but there's a gig to that. But no, it was $12,500 off. But then Scott's so cool, because Scott goes, okay, are you a Costco member? I'm like, yeah. He's, well, that's worth $1,000, another discount. So now you're at $13,500 off. And then he's like, do you have any registration of a non-GM vehicle? He's like, that's another $1,500 off. So they took $15,000 off this SUV, electric vehicle. So it's huge. It's huge. And so you probably, yeah, but big deal. You got a hell of a discount on it, but why would you buy the damn thing? Well, for the record, that Lightning truck over there, that thing is over 2 times the payment of this frickin' thing. Yes. This they financed me, which is really cool. They gave me 3.29 rate, and they gave me 60 months. So even for all the crap that's been going on in my life, it's pretty incredible to how this came to be. But here's what's the irony to all this. I just, for some reason, got this idea, oh boy, it sure be neat to have a GMC Hummer. Because the Hummer brand was discontinued in the Obama administration when General Motors went broke back in 2009-10. So GMC resurrected the name under the GMC brand for the Hummer to come back, but this time to be a friendly Hummer, being that it's an electric vehicle, blah, blah, blah. And I always have thought that's a badass vehicle, but it's too much money. Brand new, those things are $100,000+. So for some reason, on Monday evening, I just had this inclination to, it was really Tuesday, 4 in the morning or something like that when I woke up. And I had this inclination to look at the Hummers in the area through cars.com. And I don't know, I just kind of then somehow got from looking at the Hummers to then looking at the Blazer electric vehicle. Because I drove a Blazer gas one back in 2019 from Florida back home. I was flying back and forth between Florida, and then I had a bunch of stuff I had to bring home. And so Julie and I rented a nice Blazer, gas driven, and it was a very impressive car. I was really impressed on how good that car did. So I was even close to buying an RS Blazer gas version back in that 2019, 2020 kind of time frame, but I never did move forward because I thought they were too pricey and I was wanting the big discounts. So here you go. So just weird in how the search for the Hummer vehicle that really came to nothing. And then Julie and I drive up there yesterday, and Julie test drives this, and I think the color is really a cool color, but it's definitely a feminine car, feminine car. So for me, this is not a car of color that I would choose. I just wouldn't do it because it's just definitely, to me, it's not a manly color. It's very feminine, but Julie just loves the color. And it's a perfect vehicle for what we do in our business because we live behind the wheel of a car most of the week, every week, of driving 150, 200 miles a day. So these electric vehicles, my scenario here, it really does help me a lot. I mean, I save a lot on fuel. I mean, I save $1,000 a month on fuel driving around electric vehicles. Well, and in some aspects, that's basically the payment on a vehicle. So sure, I hate this. See, right now, my iPhone just cut off. So it just cut off. So I really don't even know at this point what you heard from me. I just hate these iPhones. I don't even know so I just looked down at my phone and I just now noticed that the thing turned off. The iPhone is the worst, but my Droid phone is all, it's got too much crap on it, and I got to get rid of so much storage on it, which is another freaking project. So doing YouTube channels is a lot of work, everybody. It is so much work. Until you do this stuff, if you have a regular job and a wife and kids, you can't do this. You can't do it. You're kidding yourself. You're going to drop dead because it's so much work. It takes so much out of you to create content and to make these videos, and then your phone craps out, then to sit here and then to edit it, and then to create it, then to post it, and then to blah, blah, blah. What a joke. So I don't really know what you got out of all that conversation, but here's the point. What's the odds? I think you missed, a minute or two of me talking, so who cares? Here's the whole point. What's the odds of me, and here's the other thing. This video probably won't even be created today because of this phone won't download it. There'll be too much storage in his phone. It's so complicated. You have no idea how much the pain in the ass this crap is. Should just go live. Probably should just get set up live on YouTube. But the thing is, usually the video quality sucks when it starts being live streamed. You don't get the quality. So the Hummer. So what's the odds of Julie and I being up at this dealership, and just out of the hell of it, I say to the guy, "Oh, you guys got any Hummers?" And he's like, "We just took one in." I'm like, "Wait a second, what?" And you saw that in that video last night. And what happened to the video? Why did my video last night halfway through stop showing the actual video, but me just talking? It doesn't end, man. I don't know if that ever corrected itself, but last night I heard from other people that the video halfway through, I was still talking, but there was no video actually moving. It was just a frozen frame. It's so bad. It is so ridiculous of what goes on. Trying to make YouTube content and trying to bring you stuff to hopefully entertain you to watch my channel and grow the channel. And one day, maybe I make some money. Yeah, one day with a glimmer of hope. So what's the odds of me being the first guy to have a call on a used Hummer EV? Yes. Oh my gosh. And where is a reasonable price, and if I took my Colorado truck and traded it in, the payment would for sure be more, but it wouldn't be radically more. And so this is just incredible on what's playing out. But we don't know yet. That's a whole other deal where, that's a whole other deal where that would be a long shot because of just the numbers. The numbers, trying to make the numbers work, make sense, and they give me a decent rate on a used vehicle. New car rates, I can get really good deals. Used car rates, not so much. So that's very interesting. I'm sure some people don't get rid of that Bison. That Bison's a badass fucking truck. Jesus Christ, this thing is so hard to get in and out of. I mean, it really is. It sucks. It sucks. I like my big ass HD Chevy Bison down there more than I like this Colorado. It's a small platform truck. Really is not a lot of room inside that truck. So, it really is a small truck. But it's a pain in the ass. I would have probably gotten a Trail Boss. I should have just bought a Trail Boss because that's the better package. That's just too much truck, really. So, I would trade out of that for the Hummer. So, does Scott, the finance guy, pull that off? Probably does, but I think it's going to go to, hey, you got to put a big chunk of money down or something. So, that's kind of a long shot. But I'm sure people are like, why? Why are you doing all this when you have so many other things going on the other side of the equation in your life of having to get rid of vehicles, let vehicles go? I know. Why? Right, I get it. But here's the thing. The way I think versus the way you think, obviously, is totally different. And the way I think is, once I get marked, it's done. So on my personal side, I've not been marked. On the business side, that's debatable because we tried to do the deal in the business name in this, and the GM on the business side, different division, they weren't excited. They couldn't say. So with the Kelly, the finance lady, was saying, I can't see what they're seeing, but they're seeing something that I don't know that's going on. But I think I do know what's going on. So my Dun & Bradstreet rating's probably been degraded on the business side because of things that are going on that aren't of the best of nature for you being looked at as a really good company in good standing. So I'm sure of that. So on the business side, probably that day is over. If I don't screw up on the personal side, then in all reality, I'm probably still good to go and continue to do my buy carding, which that opened my eyes up. That's what's really opened my eyes up. is on the personal side, going and buying another motorcycle, which that's kind of intriguing to know, because part of me says to go get rid of 2-3 bikes for one bike or whatever. I mean, so it's just now opens the door up. Do I take a vehicle and, do I take 2 or 3 vehicles and find like a $20,000 or $30,000 discounted vehicle, and then I get creative? That's possible. So it gets not my wheels. So why? So that's what I'm saying to you. Why do I do these things? Even for me, myself, I'm like, but why? But it's opened my eyes up to do other things now, to take a different path on how I can maybe handle this situation I've got myself into a little better. Maybe, maybe not. I don't know. It's just very intriguing for me as a person, to even myself, to see what I did that now has me stepping back and realizing that I do have more options maybe that aren't such dire straits than maybe I thought I did, that I didn't. So, wow. So it's all about the why. And for me, what's so sad now is I lost the first part of that video. And if this video gets too long, it'll never upload correctly. So meaning when I now go in and have to take the 2 videos and make them to one video out of the iMovie, if it gets too long, it will never download to my phone and it'll never publish. So I'm gonna have to kind of keep it at that. I'm gonna have to keep it maybe to 15 to 17-minute video, because otherwise you're never gonna see this video today and you'll just think I didn't make a video today, which I did make a video today, blah, 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 blah. So the adventures continue on why do you see a Hummer? Do you see a Hummer adventure day? I don't know. I would have to say it's a 50-50 shot. And once again, I think it's going to become where the numbers don't make sense, because they're lowballing me on the Bison. Right now, they're lowballing me at 45 on that truck, and I'm like, no way. That thing's worth 50 in my book. That's a $65,000 truck. The problem is the big discounts that GM's starting to hand out to people to buy stuff, but the thing is, there ain't no Bisons out there. So for me, if they come to the table at 50, I've got $5,000 of back end deals on it. Then what it turns into is there's not a lot of negative equity being put in to that Hummer, and then I would be more in the page to go that route. And this here, what's so cool about this vehicle here is there was nothing traded against it, so there's not a bunch of negative equity buried into it. And yeah, it's an EV vehicle that's just going to depreciate more than the gas vehicle. But I don't care, because this is a great vehicle now for my daughter to ride around in and work out of, instead of this big F-150 Lightning truck. And oh boy, if I can only figure out how to get this truck, get out of that damn thing and get something else and cut that payment in half, life would be good. So that's it, everybody. I really do have to wrap it up here, because the reality is I don't think this video will upload correctly, and you just may not see much of a video today, so we'll see. So everybody, stay tuned for more adventures on Ice Age TV, and thanks for support, and God bless.